welcome to my podcast, Jewelry is Your Side Hustle. And I'm Sugar Gay Isber. And today we have a very special guest. I'm just meeting you for the first time, just like you. And we're going to have a joyful time. And this is Camilla Campbell. And she is a jewelry maker. She does a lot of things. I think we should really let her kind of like tell her story. I won't like step on her parade. But welcome to my podcast. I'm so glad you're here. Happy Friday, TGIF.
Happy Friday. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this and for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So tell us about yourself. So, everybody has a journey, and the journey is so important to help other people know where they are in their journey and if they're doing the right thing. And, like all those little bits and pieces, our story is so important to how we are here right now. I want to hear that story. I want to hear, like, what brought you here? Like,
Brought me here.
how are you, how are things going? All that kind of stuff.
I hear you. Okay, what brought me here? Well, okay, so I've been designing jewelry for over 20 years. I got into learning about jewelry when I was in my teens. We lived in Connecticut, Lower Connecticut, close to New York City.
I
And
forgot to put
my
my jewelry
aunt,
on. Sorry, I'm putting my jewelry. My
multitasking.
jewelry. I forgot jewelry. Okay, go ahead.
I really got into the jewelry scene. Actually, my aunt is actually who introduced me to jewelry when I was a teenager. We would go into New York City in the garment district. They have so much galore of beads and just your creativity could just run wild. And that's exactly what happened. It started off as just like, beading jewelry around the table. That was kind of like my introduction to it. Fast forward many years later, over a decade later, I was working in corporate America. I had just relocated to Atlanta. That was during the last sort of recession that we had,
2009, 2010, like that. Those
around
days.
it was a little bit before that. It was around like 2000, around 2008. I started the business around 2008, which is I
Yeah,
think
I
we were
I
kind of
remember.
like peaking right into it where, the economy was just getting really, really bad. And my husband had lost his job and I was the sole, provider. So I'm like, we need a way to make some money. And it's so interesting how creativity is born out of necessity sometimes. Like when you're like,
Yeah,
you know what, I have skills. There's something I can do. But I truly enjoyed it. And I saw it as a creative outlet to my corporate career. And I had a background in marketing, I had a background in business. So I was just like, let me just go for it. Right. So I started my Etsy shop. I think everybody does around that time. I think we were like the Etsy OGs back then because that was the only place you really heard of like, handmade stuff going up for sale. And it kind of just exactly where it started. I just kind of just jumped into it. I didn't have a business plan. I didn't know what my plan was. I just was like, let me just start making some stuff and seeing what sells. And as year after year, it's just like, you learn more, you do things, you pivot, you do, there's just no blueprint. And I'm sure we're all seeing that now of just what success looks like.
isn't it
It's a
true?
person, it's a personal story, right? And so that's kind of how I got started. I
What
have
were you
been
making back then? Like, what was your like what
I
were
did
you?
a lot of wire wrapping, a lot of wire wrapping with beading and stuff, which I truly enjoyed. It was definitely like a stress relief and I was really, really good at it. And then around 2010, I started dabbling in metalsmithing. And since then, I've never looked back. Like I'm just all about the metals, working with precious metals. I haven't dabbled into stones just yet, but it was I think I have evolved business wise because I've always been interested and taken it another step further with
Right.
my creativity and also just building a customer base as you go along. Customers have been really pivotal in a lot of my success because a lot of times they challenge me through custom orders, right? That's how I actually pivot as an artist and, got into metalsmithing because it came from a custom order. Like, can you do this for me? Well, I may be able to. Well, why don't you try, type thing. So after Etsy, I'm still on Etsy, but I don't really sell too much on there anymore. I've been really focused just on my soul standalone e-commerce shop. I've been doing a lot of pop-ups in markets.
What is that
Um,
called? Let's just
oh, hello, the Pink Locket. So yeah, the pinklocket.com everywhere. Um,
Pink Locket.
the Pink Locket, yes.
Mhm.
Um,
Where'd that name come from?
every time I get this question, people are surprised at the answer.
You smile.
There's no deep meaning to this name.
Okay. Okay.
I think during the time, um, the word pink, the color pink during that time of like 2008 was just like a really popular. I think that's when like we had like an explosion of just like everything was just pink.
It was
And
Barbie time again.
it
Like,
was just like, just like, the pink locket. And I was like, oh, okay, kind of right. I think it was probably just like brainstorming, and those are the words that clicked in it. It's memorable because people remember it. As long as you can remember
it's a
it.
visual thing. Yeah. Oh, I can
Right,
see.
right.
Okay.
So, and people have asked me, are you going to change the name? I'm like, no, because I need something people can remember. So, so there's no deep meaning behind the name whatsoever. Um, but so I have, yeah, so I started concentrating on my standalone website. Over the past few years, I have been dabbling more in doing a lot more in-person shows, so like pop-ups and selective markets because I'm finding we have to meet our customers where they're at. Like getting out there in the community, FaceTime is really important. I think the pandemic has shuttered us all inside where it's just like, we need to step away and actually be more in community because that's kind of what's gonna pull us all out of this rut that we're in right now, in my belief. It's just like community, because I don't know any other way.
Right. Right. How do you find your pop-up markets? Are there a lot of,
Uh,
are you still in Atlanta now?
I'm
Still
still
there?
in Atlanta. I'm still in Atlanta, which is like we just from April until like October is just like festival after festivals, and there are a lot of big ones. A lot of the ones that that I've been doing, I'm a part of certain Facebook groups where they kind of a lot of makers and promoters of these shows kind of like, communicate. So a lot of times, a lot of the shows that I do find or the pop-ups or markets that I do find are within community within those Facebook groups.
Yeah.
And they're very well vetted Facebook groups as well. So those are great ways to find, get feedback also on different markets that are worth it or maybe not, depending on, what it is that
Because they're a
you
lot of work. It's
so
a lot of work.
they're a lot of work. They're a lot of work. And I tell you, there are people like kudos to people that do it every weekend. I'm not one of them. My
Okay.
max is like one weekend a month. Because it's a lot of preparation, that
It
goes
is.
into
You have
it.
to price everything and
Price
pack everything
everything,
and
the
make
setup,
everything.
breakdown.
That's huge.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I have built a community of vendors and other vendors, that do other markets and as well as other promoters. And it's very much a very entrepreneurial um what do you call it? Entrepreneurial pro state. I find Georgia. They make it really easy for you to kind of set up your business. It's not highly expensive as other states and stuff. So I will say that about being here is that entrepreneurship, they do shine a lot on a lot of entrepreneurs here.
Yay. We love that. So important. Well, that support, it's really, it's the key because,
Yeah,
it's a lot of work being an entrepreneur.
it
Oh
is.
my
It
God.
is.
Like every
It
day
is.
is some big challenge sometimes. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
dealing with the world. The world is tricky. Like
Yes.
it's
Yes.
tricky. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah. So now what are you making? Like what is your favorite thing that you're now did we meet each other on the Artisan Guild? The Artisan group? No, where
Yes. The
yeah.
artisan group through Val.
Oh,
Yes.
so tell me
Yes.
about how that one's been working for you.
Okay, so I've been a part of the artisan group. Gosh, it's been a long time. I've lost since 2013.
Okay.
So
And
it's been
there's
a
a
long
lot of
time.
movies and movie stars in Atlanta.
There are, yeah, yeah, there are a lot. There's a
Yeah.
lot. I feel like the artisan group has been it's been a game changer because um you instead of you going out and actually having to pitch, to stylists, It's readily available and you can pick and choose the ones that you want to do. The next one that I'm doing is actually a display with other artisans from the artisan group for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, yes, which is October, I believe it's October 7th. The gifting is October 17th through the 19th, but I think the actual award show is the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. So
Exciting.
yeah, so that's been the big one for this year.
Do you have some rock and roll pieces? Like kind of like
So the pieces that I decided to go with, I'm from the Caribbean. I'm from Jamaica. So over the summer, I created my first Caribbean collection called Escape to the Caribbean.
I love it.
And it was based on elements and pieces of the Caribbean that I felt that should be highlighted. So one of the pieces that I highlighted was the steel pan drum,
Oh,
which
I love that.
looks like a hammered. So I have pieces that resemble like the steel thinner part of the steel pan drum. That's not going to be on display. And then I also created I used the sugar cane, the roughage, the silhouette of a sugar cane to create a sugar cane bracelet cuff, which will also be on display. And then a plant we call it's a fruit called a breadfruit leaf. So I made a necklace resembling that. So not necessarily anything
I know the
music
breadfruit.
related.
I grew
Yeah.
up in Grand Cayman.
You did?
Yeah, so
Oh
you
wow.
can't like trick me. I'm like, yeah, I know Mount
Okay.
Gay
Okay.
rum.
So you know
I
exactly
grew
what
up
I'm
on
talking
Mount Gay
about.
rum. My name is Gay. You know everything had to be
Oh,
Mount Gay rum, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay. So you know everything I'm talking about
I
then.
do. I do. I do. And then when you say Caribbean, because I'm a color girl and I'm not a
Mhm.
metalsmith girl, I
Mhm.
was thinking, oh, all those ocean colors, all
Colors. Yeah. Yeah.
sky, all
Yes.
those blue,
Yes.
blue.
Yes.
Yes, I've
Yes.
been to Jamaica. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I was just actually reading a article about Jamaica just now. So,
Yeah.
our-
Yeah.
so yeah, it's beautiful there. Like
It
beautiful.
is. It is. Cayman is beautiful too. That was one of my favorite islands to visit growing up, just because the beaches were just like, oh my God, they were like immaculate. Like I think
Yeah.
I went to the turtle farm and that was the first
Yes.
time like I
Yes.
held
Yes. Yes.
the
Yes.
turtle.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I was probably like,
Did you try eating it? Because I don't know if they do it now, but you
no,
could
they used to,
try
no, they did have, they
eat it.
cheered, they turtle burgers. Yes, my uncle tried to
Yeah.
get me. I was like, no, that's as far as I'm going. But it
Oh,
was,
okay.
I remember being so excited to actually hold like an actual
Yes.
turtle.
Yes.
Like I've never seen a
Yes.
turtle farm. I was
Yes.
amazed. Yeah.
Yes. I had so much fun there. I have so many good memories. Like I could just smile forever. And the black coral, that was another
Yeah.
thing, and the shark's teeth. So
Hmm.
I still make shark's tooth today. Shark's tooth today. There's tons of them in my studio because those pieces were, that's from that time period of my life.
Right,
I
right.
still have the first one that I bought that was covered in gold, and it means the world to me. Like
That's
lots of
amazing.
good memories.
Yeah.
I was hot and sexy and cute back then too. And back then there was so I'm talking about I'm older than you, but there was not that many people there. Now it's like
No, no,
I mean I
no.
could like swim 7 Mile Beach and then hitchhike back,
Yeah, it was one of the I mean, it was one of the safest islands. I remember
yeah,
going there. I was
yeah,
probably about 11 and it was just safe. Like it's
yeah.
yeah, I had I have a lot of memories from vacationing there.
Yeah, it's good memories in life grand. Like serious.
Definitely.
So good. So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is going to have some of your jewelry. Now, is that a permanent collection or do they return that or how's that
They
work?
return it back to me. So what it
It's
is
really nice.
they'll the artisan group, I'm there with the artisan group, so it's a collective. So there'll be other artists who are also displaying their pieces of work as well. And we will get, because celebrities come in and out of these gifting suites to kind of like, look at what's in there. So we will get our photo taken with our product with, one, two, or
You'll be
three.
there? You'll be there for it?
No, I won't be there, but my jewelry will be there. So the celebrities will be able to take pictures, trying on your jewelry and stuff. So and you get those photos to use.
And if they
Uh,
like it, you have to give it to them, right? That's how it
Got
works.
it.
What?
They do have gifting, so we do have what stuff on display, and then they will have like gifting bags with different products that are displayed in it. So I believe they will can get some sort of gifting.
Yeah.
I don't think they know what though.
Yeah.
So
That's okay.
yeah.
It's part of the fun. It's the magic of
The yeah,
rubbing off the gold, It's like,
yeah.
it's social proof too. So
Yeah, 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 definitely, definitely. So I mean, it's a, events like that are pretty good. And then just the television shows, just it just saves a lot of time, I think. And I think it's a really good resource. And we're all a community. Once again, we're all a community.
yes,
So
yes.
we can kind of like, grow off each other, different strategies, does this look good? Does this, a lot of good feedback from the
I think
groups.
it's really the important part of joining these groups. I'm a member of several group, like,
Mhm.
I don't know how many, but not a ton. But is that sense of community, because it's so important when you're an entrepreneur and you're working at home or whatever, and
Mhm.
you're like, oh, I'm having this great success. I just want to share it with somebody because, my
Yeah.
husband's like,
They
you
don't
know,
understand. It's like, I
it's
got
like
this.
a
Like,
million little
okay, what does
baby
that
steps.
mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it's those
But
little
yeah,
things where when you have your little shared success, like your group of makers and entrepreneurs are gonna know exactly and be just as excited for you as opposed to, others who are just not really familiar. And it's not their fault, but
no, they just don't understand.
yeah.
It's a big process. Not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur. My husband, for
Yeah.
example, he would cry if I said, "You got to go like do something." He'd be like, I'm not going there." He's an engineer, not interested.
Oh yeah,
It takes
yeah.
a whole different. It take like you were born an artist. I was born an
Hmm.
artist. Like that's how it started. Like was through you as a young person,
Right.
and just being curious and wanting to learn and making different
Right.
things, and then
Hmm.
that kind of translates forward to oh, I'm in a pinch. I need to sell something. Oh wait, I have that great skill. I can do that. And then now you
Right.
followed it through. Are you still having your corporate job on top of this?
I do. So I still
Yeah,
do work my corporate job.
me
Benefits is a
too.
thing. You need
I have a
health care.
yeah. And Social Security hours, those are
You
important
need
to me right now.
you
So
need a health care.
yeah.
And I've been able to balance it. At first, I remember when I first started, it was all about like, oh my God, that whole quit your day job movement that kind of just I think it stressed me out more than anything because it gave you the feeling of okay, I have to choose one, and it's kind of difficult to do that. Everybody's number is really different. Everybody's financial outlook personally is completely different. And I felt like I was putting added pressure on myself where it didn't need to be added. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me just go through the motions and see how it goes. Would I love to do this full time? Of course. But you also have to take other things into consideration when you have a family. You need health care. You need, a way to save for your retirement effectively. You need, so there are things, and not to mention having, keeping my regular corporate job has allowed me to actually invest money into my business
Of course.
where, I'm not having to worry, okay, I won't be able to
Yeah,
do this
of
because sales
course.
weren't this month. Well, I can, I have a source of income. So
I
that
know.
that's
Every
been a
penny
plus.
I make goes right back into my business. I
Yeah,
know that's
yeah,
true.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's just it's not a flaw in the system. It's just what makes my jewelry better is that I have
Right,
a great job.
right,
So, and luckily I can do it from home, so I can just slide back and forth.
right. Exact flexibility. Yes,
Mhm.
yes, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other friends that are around you that you get to like bounce things off of?
Bouncing gossip. I do. Oh, immediately around me, since I've started doing a lot more markets in the Atlanta area, I find that I do have a lot more friends who are entrepreneurs and artist makers. I have been able to build that community, luckily. And then a lot of my friends that are far away that support me online. So I will say I have been really truly blessed with a great tribe. I talk about my tribe all the time. Um, just through like different communities, just through different, I don't feel alone in the space because, you have people that kind of understand. And not only that, like I've created accountability groups to
Yes.
kind of just like, if there's certain business goals I'm trying to drive and I need, people who understand my business to kind of hold me accountable for it. We have weekly meetings. Okay, what did you work on? What did you not do? How can you push this forward? And then also, and it doesn't even have to be artist-based businesses. It could just be they own whatever
Yeah.
business they
Yeah.
do, because there's a common thread amongst entrepreneurs, whether you're creative
Yes.
or
Yes.
not, when it
Yes.
comes to issues and, the basic things issues that we run into. And they're able to give me their perspective too from their own industry that I probably wasn't even thinking of. So I find like I've been truly blessed with a tribe of people around me who kind of understand. Like if I have an issue, I feel comfortable. All right, can you help me through this? I'm not understanding something. Or, this is my strategy. What do you see? Where do you see holes in it? So I don't really feel alone as much as I did years ago. I think when I first started, you kind of felt alone because entrepreneurship really wasn't big. I think now there's a lot more resources, a lot more people moving into the space, which is a good thing.
And we're also, I did see on your Instagram where you put your goal right out at the top. I'm like, I love that. Like, let's because it's masterminding, right? That's the thing about
Yeah.
like you and I together, we make one good brain that's really like thinking about all this. And there's a masterminding group that I'm going to be a part of for just for 4 weeks. But
Hmm.
I really crave that. I think it's just so important. And so I get you. I understand.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is
And I
important.
got that idea from another jewelry artist who was on her own challenge. And she was like, I was like, you know what, let me hop on this challenge with you. I'm just like, because you were inspired, like it's the vulnerability, it's putting it out there and letting people know, because there are people out there who really want to support you and cheer you along, but they have to know what's your goal in mind.
Right. And we're also content creators. Like
Yeah.
that's the one thing about Instagram is I've been on Instagram a long time. Have you?
Yeah, since it
Early,
started.
early days. Yeah, me too. And now it's just like, well, now it's just a different way of expressing myself.
Yeah.
But I definitely have, really been able to embrace creating content. Some people really struggle with that because it's a technical challenge. It's not like some people just like, I can't do it. I was like,
Mhm.
take the pressure off. It's not that hard. Just,
Just hit
yeah,
post.
just come up with something, like,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I get it. Like it's really evolved since I don't even know, like back then, like I don't know, I had a store back then, so it was pretty easy for
Hmm.
people to find me. But then those kind of all has gone away because of COVID and all that.
Right.
It's like, is it working that we have Instagram? Are people finding us because of Instagram? I don't know. I don't know. I'd love to
I think
meta.
that
It's like meta money. That's all that matters. Like
Meta
meta
money,
is the king.
run
And
those
if you
ads.
if you pay to boost, if you run those ads, then they will enlighten you and good things will happen. I have noticed that my Etsy ads, their pay per click seem
Hmm.
to be paying off more than the meta ads did. So I'm kind of like, you have to constantly be evaluating and shifting and going, well, I can do a meta ad any day.
Yeah.
Let's get this set up where
Yeah.
fair. Are you on fair?
I'm unfair too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I do ads on there. I don't know. I haven't got anything from there, but I don't know. It's hard, isn't it?
You know what? It's hard. And like you, I've been on social media since early adopter.
Yeah.
And what I have always found, and you stray away from it, you come back to it, is growing your email list.
Yes.
No matter what, it doesn't even
Yes.
have to be huge. Like, it does not have to be huge. I think we put so much pressure on ourselves that we need to be in front of so many people, but you need to be in front of the right people.
Right.
If I'm in front of 200 people who are my right people,
That's it. Your audience. That's your audience.
and they love your work, they're not going to question the cost, they're not going to question the value. They know where to find you, they're
Exactly.
comfortable, they love you.
Exactly.
They come
Exactly.
back time after time after time. And
Exactly.
I have found that there is just gold in your email list. That is no matter, I've done it too. Straight away, gone to, focused on meta ads, focused on this, and I come right back to my email list every single time.
I sent out an email, my newsletter today. Had a little bit of a bump because I have GoDaddy and it was a news blah 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 this stuff and I was like all night last night like texting him going what is wrong? And then this
Mhm.
morning I got up super early before my husband wanted me to. I'm like I gotta check and see if it went through. Yeah,
Went
it's all
through.
through. But that you just never know. Like every day is like something.
Yes.
But that's so important because,
Yeah.
and you can see the analytics. I could see immediately when I did go, I could see who opened it.
Who
Like,
opened it, who didn't, who
yeah, it's kind
did.
of
I mean,
always a surprise.
right. So I mean, I just think it's quality over quantity, right?
Yes. Yeah, I actually hadn't done one in a while. I don't know
Mm.
why. I can't explain to you.
Time.
So busy. Like,
Time.
how how did I let that slip? But I think I was waiting for some big announcement kind of things to kind of, and then
Yeah.
rug, and then it's like, okay, well, I'll just wait a couple more weeks, and then that'll happen. And then,
Yeah. And I have and and I get that too. I've been a little bit more intentional about, I don't, it's like every email doesn't have to be about a jewelry drop. It could be
yeah,
something simple. Let's run back old designs. Let's have some fun. One thing that has the highest open rate
okay,
are motivational Mondays. People just think of the mindset of people on a Monday, right? You're coming off the weekend. You don't want
Garfield
to deal with
time.
a Monday.
Yeah.
You need motivation to get through just Monday, not to mention the rest of the week, right? So I started doing motivational Mondays of just like a saying, a phrase, something to kind of help somebody, right? People love those. Matter of fact, I haven't done one. I used to do them on my Instagram and I haven't done it in a while. And people are like, "Are you coming back with motivational Mondays?" I'm like, "You guys really watch this stuff, huh?"
Oh, I love it. I used to have meditation Mondays, and we would all get together and meditate
There
about
you go.
paper.
There you
That was
go.
kind of fun. You're sitting in a store, and it's like
Yeah.
you're low, and the vibe
Yeah.
is good, and everybody's happy, and I miss those days. Those were
Yeah.
meditation Mondays. Yeah, my one day
That
off.
has a ring to it. Yes.
Yeah, so we like all this. It's so I think it is really important to be positive, and joy is the key.
Yeah.
Like I could sing that as a song. Joy is the key. Joy is the key because we have to like really like make that is why we're here. Like that's why we're here. We love what we do. We love
Yeah.
what we do. We love
Yeah.
making things. We want to share that joy with somebody else. We want people that wear our jewelry to go, oh, this felt so good because 10 people said hi to me today, which they
Right.
Linda because they're wearing something interesting. And so we've got that kind of thing happening too. Is that, being bold and wearing jewelry is an important part of,
Most
what we're
definitely. I think it's
yeah.
empowering. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a saying, I had a saying about hoops, hoop wear. It's like, how do you feel when you wear hoops? I always, because that's a hot seller with a lot of my customers, it's just hoops, right? How do you feel when you wear them when you don't wear them, right? I feel like I can conquer the world. I feel like I can, bury
I'm
me in my
sexy.
hoops.
Yeah.
You're right. It's just like there's never been a time a person put on a pair of hoops and they did not feel empowering. It's
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
you
Exactly.
know, but just jewelry overall just does that. And I don't think, people realize that. Like as a jewelry designer, you're empowering people. You're allowing them to be themselves. You're allowing them to kind of curate their own look and you might not be in control of everything, but you're in control of what you decide to put on that day. And
Right.
jewelry makes is a huge proponent in that, I
And
believe.
it's like in our DNA. It goes back
Yes.
to ancient people times, like
Yes.
to early beginnings when they were like looking at a bone, going, "Hey, wait, this
Let's
bone's
make
kind
a
of
nice
cool. Like
necklace.
maybe I should
Yeah.
like wear this bone somehow." It's like,
Right. Symbolism. Yeah.
I mean, there's at the Le Bear Tar Pits in LA. If you ever go there, go
Hmm.
to that museum. It's amazing because there was these big sinkhole, right? And it, filled up with water, but really down below it was,
Hmm.
tar. So the animals would all come and they would like get chased into the hole and then they would fall into the
Right.
hole and all these things happened. And people did too. And there was a girl that they've, reclaimed from that
Hmm.
and she had a necklace on. And this would have been, I think it was like 30,000 years ago. And that
Wow.
necklace today, I could wear it, I could make it, and I could sell it. It's like,
Okay.
yeah, that's exactly the look that we all have today. It's not kind
Mhm.
of like charms, where it was like,
See?
a bone on a shell and
Hmm.
things, little trinkets that she had picked up. She put on some sinew, and there it was. And that was 30,000 years ago. So,
See?
yeah, so this is not new to us. This
No.
is exactly what we should be doing because we are creators and creators are different. Not everybody's a creator. We have to have the people that make money, and those are our
Right.
customers. And then there's us. So it's
Yes,
like
right.
them and us.
Yes.
We're part of the tribe together. We're the
Yeah.
creator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do you create besides jewelry? Is there anything else that you create?
You
Has it
know,
bleed
Ju-
over?
it hasn't it hasn't really bled over into anything other than jewelry. I start no no, I'm not that's not 100%. I have started making and it was years ago and I it was born out of frustration. Um Polymer clay
Mm.
bowls. So I have one that people love. It says today I will slay. It is black and white marble and it has like copper, rose copper gold paint around it. And everybody just loves it. Um, and I created that. I remember it was one holiday season, and we all know how holiday seasons can get very just like, you know, crazy and just make you second guess everything about your business and your creativity sometimes. And I was like, you know what? I think I had extra leftover clay from something. I was like, let me see what I can create from this or whatever. So I had that holiday, I think I created maybe about 10 and they sold off like nothing. So I've kept that kind of in rotation over the past years. So I think that's probably what's been born out of my jewelry creativity. Other than that, I'm trying to think. I know I'm like creative in other ways, but um
Well,
digital
even
creativity too.
yeah, well, yes, setting up your booth,
Setting
marketing,
up my booth,
all
the marketing, all of that. I guess those,
packaging,
yeah, packaging. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. So I
website.
mean it all website. A matter of fact, I just actually redid some parts of my website and you never know what you can do until you actually jump into it and actually do it, right? You discover a whole lot. But thankfully, what I do like now is that there's just so many resources out there. It's like if you want something done, you can get it done. You know, you don't know how to do something, it's particularly with all the tools are out there, there's something that, you know, you can find a solution for. So I think that's my joy in the moment.
Yeah.
It's just like if you were lost with anything, you can find a solution for it, you know.
Have you dabbled with uh, uh Chat GPT? Because I
Hmm.
use it. I use it
I
every day.
Yes, I use it all the time. And I use it because I think because there's this whole thing about AI create versus whatever, you know, and we can't do everything ourselves.
Yes.
Um, I'm not a proponent on copying anything that's
Right.
original, but as artists, we start with something. What do we start with? We start with our own creativity, whether it's words, whether it's design, whether it's something else. And
Or a
we
bead for me.
beat or something. So, you know, these tools are available to us. And if you use them the right way, you're responsible with using them, it can be very beneficial in your business, you
Mhm.
know? So I think finding ways to actually incorporate that, like I think I did a video one time when I was doing YouTube shorts, and I found an AI app that will take that one YouTube video, splice it into different shorts, transcribe it. So now I have 5 pieces of content when I originally only created one.
Right. Bravo. I
So,
can think of so many ways to use it. I this week I ran kind of the signature underneath on my email, which had a lot of links. I'm
mhm.
like, reorganize these so that it makes a little bit more sense and
Right.
look good. Done. 2 seconds. I'm like, bravo. Like I just want to pet it and say
And
thank you, thank you.
thank you.
Did you also know that you can get mad? You can threaten. I have a IT degree, and that's one of the I learned from. I learned it from Microsoft. They're like, oh yeah, you can like threaten to like hurt it if it's not behaving. I'm like, oh shit. So I've kind of like sometimes like, you better get this right because like whatever, it's like not really that bad. But
I haven't named my assistant yet. I think the assistant needs a name.
yeah,
Haven't named my assistant yet, but
yes, because it is surprising how it just like everything can just go through that. And I empower everybody that is listening to create an account if it's a free one or a paid one.
yeah,
Just think of
just
all the different ways you can use it because I use it during the week. It's always open on my uh,
yeah.
tab across the top. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna throw
It's
that.
even it's even a great scheduler. Like if I'm doing my monthly campaign email, you know, content, and just need to know, okay, I can put into it what campaigns have worked over the last whatever days, what I'm thinking, what I'm launching, what am I do? I can pretty much, it's a brain dump. I can dump
Yeah.
everything that I am thinking and then what worked. And you need to be savvy with the prompts or else you will get
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and it'll come up with a whole entire calendar. Like all I did was organize it for you and took out what's right or right. You gave it that creative
Exactly.
content. So,
Yeah.
those are ways you can use it to actually now picture how long it would have taken me after I brain dumped to manually pull out a calendar and do all of that. It would have taken
Yeah.
me a
It's
couple of
definitely,
hours,
yeah, it
right?
shortens everything you time
Right.
wise. It's definitely
Yeah.
it's such a work. And
So
I'm
I,
a professional writer. Like that's my job. My day job
mhm.
is a tech writer. And they don't have it at our job, but I definitely like if they gave me like five, and they've done this 5 pages of text. It's like somebody wrote something, and I'm like, yeah, rewrite this. Yeah, just
Yes.
rewrite this.
Rewrite
Give
this.
it to me so I can like see it right, and like then I'll. You still have to rewrite it,
Write it, but
so you can't like you can't not have those skills.
no,
And
you don't.
Grammarly,
Yes.
Grammarly is
Yes.
also a key part.
Yes.
I pay for that because these are just things that like, make us look better. It looks better on our brand when
Hmm.
things are going out and our emails are correct and everything is like
Right. It's
up to date.
efficiency too, right?
Efficiency. Yeah, they're going to take over and kill us, but like, I mean, the algorithm is AI, right?
Or yeah.
It kind of just it is where we are right now at this
I was
moment,
just I was like we were thinking I was thinking of like what jobs can AI not really take over? I said I'm not ready to have a massage therapist
right?
as a
That's what.
robot just yet. So there are certain industries where I think you were pretty safe because I'm not having a robot give me a massage.
No, that doesn't sound good. No,
Absolutely
yeah.
not.
But there are different things. Now, it's the weekend. What do you normally do on the weekend? Do you take time off or do you work on the weekends on your
So normally on the weekends, it's usually my time to kind of just like that's when I do a lot of bulk of my orders. Because I have a little bit more time. This weekend I have now that we're moving into the holiday season, the weekends going to be probably filled with markets. I have a couple. I think I only have one this month that's on schedule, but so Sunday I have a market, which I'm really excited about. Whenever I get a chance to be in front of customers and kind of just like,
telling you,
pitch your
interactive.
brand and just kind of
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
sometimes I might not sell too much, but if I could walk away with a couple emails and some good
yeah,
contacts or
yeah.
whatever, it makes you feel good to kind of start the week. So this weekend I have some the a market on Sunday. So as we move into the holiday seasons now, I'm gearing up to launch a new personalized jewelry piece for the holidays because that's the top seller for the holidays. I find people love personalized jewelry pieces. They buy other things too, but I'm finding that that's the most common. So I've kind of revamped, given a little refresher of some of the classic ones that I've had in my shop that probably need a little bit more of newness, refreshing. So I will be launching that this month. I'm starting holiday launches really early this time. Normally I wait till November, but I'm
Yeah,
just like, no, I'm just going straight into October.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I get that because people are shopping now. I had somebody just
Yeah.
this week bought something for, and they were just just because they're putting a little bit every
A
month
little
towards
bit. Yeah.
it. It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
Yes.
you ship out of the country? Because I've kind of had a little bit of problems with that lately. I don't know how other people.
I do ship out of the country. A lot of more of my international sales come through Etsy. Um,
Right.
but I do have a few that come through my Shopify. I think the biggest thing is the custom and duty fees that they're hit with
Oh,
when it reaches their country, which I don't have any control over whatsoever. But I think that is a deterrence in a lot of international orders. Is just the duty, and taxes that are due when it arrives. But
so
I
that's
do offer it. It's a very small percent of my business though.
yeah, it's kind of a. But it's nice to see that people all over the world are looking at our stuff. Like that kind of feels
Oh
good.
yeah. Oh
Good.
yeah. Oh yeah. When you look at the analytics of like there's some places like, how did you even find me? I didn't even know this island existed.
I know.
What is going on?
Now, do you
But
have kids? I saw somebody walk by. Is that your?
oh, that was my son. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have, yes, I have three sons. So I have a 13-year-old. That was a 13-year-old you saw. And then I have older boys. My stepsons, they're 27. So the one
Okay.
you saw walk by was my 13-year-old.
Oh, that's so great. Like it, it is about family and work balance and all this.
Yeah.
I get that we're there. My kids are all grown and I have grandchildren now. So,
Mm,
that's another thing, but it's nice to have the freedom where we're home and we're not having little babies. I feel for I was there. I was that mother that was multitasking and doing 10 things,
yeah,
changing a
girl.
diaper and
Yeah.
eating
Yeah.
something and
Yeah.
because it never has stopped for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then my kids, because they grew up seeing their mother with a really great work ethic, have
Hmm.
all turned out to be very successful men,
Yes.
free men. And so, they I was listening to my son. My son's been doing a podcast for a long time, and it's just finally over because he's
Oh,
moving. But I was listening in the car to it. He's like, "Don't forget to listen to the last one." I'm like, "Okay." And the very last thing he signed off was like, "Okay, a shout out to my mom." And I was like, "I'm the biggest fan." Like, I almost had to pull over. I
love
was so
it.
happy about
Love
that
it.
because,
That's what
you
it's all
know,
about. You know what? When you hear things like that, you're like, you're right. I did my best and it turned out great.
yeah,
You
that's
know,
great. And I even said, like, you inspired me to have a podcast. Like, we
Mm.
can like feed off of each other and
Yeah,
learn, you
yeah,
know. I
yeah.
think he was the first one that said, "Oh, this Chat GPT, you got to get on it." I'm
You
like,
gotta
"Okay,
get on.
I'm on it." Like, so we were learning from our sons in this
Yes.
point, like, so that we're keeping current and keeping ahead of that curve. Because I bet
Yep.
your 13-year-old has some really good
Oh
insights.
my God, all of them do. They've all worked in my business at some point or another. The little one, he like grew, he was born right into it. So he
Yeah,
was stacking my boxes for years. Like
yeah,
he'll get them, just put the labels, the stickers on them and stack them. And then funny, it was like a couple of years ago, he's like, Mom, can't you give me something else to do? You know, I can do more than just label and stack boxes.
okay.
I was
Time
like,
for him to
oh,
learn some
okay,
craft.
you want to get promoted. But they've all worked in the business at some point, either jewelry production, mailing out, helping at shows. So they have gotten a open front row seat to what it's like to be a creative entrepreneur. And my one of my other sons, that's one of their well, they're twins, they're 27. But one of them, he works in film production and he's an aspiring actor and he does behind the scenes stuff. So he came into my office the other day and he was here sitting down. He's like, "So, how's business going? What's going on?" So, like, "Oh, you want to know how business is going?" So, I'm there telling him, what's working, what's not working. And he's there giving me, "Oh, okay, well, what about this? What about that?" And he's showing me other jewelry brands and what they're doing. Do you think you want to incorporate that? So definitely respected because it's just like you would never have that input,
Yes,
that perspective if you've never worked in my business at all.
exactly.
So, just
Exactly.
just like that. I'm like, "Oh, okay, you really were paying attention this whole
Yeah, we loved it. Don't we love that? That it all comes full
time."
circle and that they can,
Full circle.
and they're proud of their mothers. I know your
Yeah.
sons are proud of you.
Yeah.
And that we've kept up this business, through the hard times and
Yeah.
grown and, really grown our whole brand, we've
Yeah.
become the
Yeah.
brand. So I don't know. I've been doing this for more than 20 years, but they've all
Okay.
grown up in it. That was
Wow.
early. No, they were like seriously, like I know. It used to be my girlfriends would say, "Okay, we know you're really busy and we know you can't really stop working. So just bring your work over and then we'll just talk and drink around you." And
See?
you like, I'm like,
Solution.
yeah, those are my girlfriends. Like, because you can never really stop. Like it's
No,
very hard to, put it down when you got, or between now and Christmas, we know this is a push.
this
So that
is
push is real.
this time of year is a blur. It's just like you're just doing.
Then we'll
Yeah.
rest. When
Then
we
you
die,
rest.
we rest. Oh my God, it's so good. Well, I have really enjoyed meeting you. I hope that I always tell everybody, I tell all my students, I tell all my podcasts that I am your friend for life because now we have bonded. We've spent more time together than um, all my other friends combined today. So it's a really nice time for me to get to meet you, Camilla, and we're gonna always be friends. And I really hope that you'll like invite me to your mastermind group, or if there's
Of
anything I can
course, of
for you,
course.
I can like spread the joy of your jewelry here. I will. Like
Appreciate that,
there's no,
definitely.
it's all overlap and it's all friends, and we really do need to just know that somebody is out there today that doesn't need to cry by themselves, and
Yes,
that's what I mean for people.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
you having that kind of a day? Give me a jingle.
I appreciate it. What you're doing is just like, it's grateful, definitely grateful. And you're an island girl, so we vibe.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything happened to me on that island, girl. Like those are my good memories. That's my heart and soul right there. So many great memories. That's what I have to say about it. It was a time and a half, and can't go back. But also, it's just all changed, so it's okay. I don't
Yeah,
have to go back. But I did take my kids there, and we did the Stingray City. We did all that kind of stuff so they could kind of
yeah,
see it. But it's all changed, and
yeah,
I do have some friends there still, and yeah, it's just a small world there. It's
yeah.
like it's big, so like
Everybody knows
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah, everybody. My
Yeah.
a friend from high school in Houston ended up moving there and getting married. His sister-in-law was the sister to my boyfriend that I first had. I'm
Wow.
like, oh my God, you know him? Oh my
Small
God, he's
world,
my first
right?
love. Like,
Tiny
it's
world.
crazy. Like, I'm like, how is that like two steps? So I'm one step away from that, and that was my past. So it's just fun,
Yeah.
It's just fun
Yeah.
to see how it all is. And of course, Jamaica's much bigger, but
Yeah.
yeah. So and also, did y'all do okay during the hurricane there?
Yeah, we were very blessed and fortunate. We didn't have any damage, but I'm in the metro area, so there are other parts of the metro area that were near creeks and stuff that kind of
Yeah,
flooded. And then South Georgia, I think, got hit probably the worst I've seen
yeah.
it. Like they got a real beating. So, but we were fortunate. I don't think people expected it. Like we knew it was coming, but usually by the time it gets here, we have to
Yeah, it's
worry
fizzled
about
out.
tornadoes. Right. And the
Yeah.
worst we have to worry about is tornadoes. There's this one lady who slept in her basement the night thinking of tornadoes and woke
And
up
it
to nothing
flooded.
but water. Yeah, in her basement. So it was just like, we hear hurricane, we think tornado. But this was different. This was different.
I you know, it's so hard. Yeah, it's just so hard
Hmm.
because you got to really feel for that when you see all those tragedies. And I
Yeah.
have some stores that are in Asheville that carry my jewelry, so
Yeah.
I don't care about my jewelry. I just want to make
Make
sure.
sure they're okay. Yeah. Definitely.
Hard times. Well,
Yes.
I have really enjoyed this, Kamala.
I have to.
I just said it wrong, but you know who
It's
I'm.
I am getting that. I have been getting that
It's
for the
okay. That's all
longest.
right. That's all right. It's all good. Like we love it. We want that. That's the name that's on the
There
tip of our tongue, and we just want to say it. So
you
you're our
go.
queen. So please keep me posted, and
I
please be
definitely
my
will.
friend. Add me to your newsletter. Add me to
Yes,
your Facebook groups, whatever you can to say, yeah, let's sugar in, because I'm knocking at your door. I want to be
I
with you,
appreciate it.
and we're in the artist group together. That's a
Yes.
great collective, and I also know of a lot of other really great um, organizations that could really be possibilities. So if you ever go, hey,
Yes.
let's see what Sugar's got. Okay, all right.
Okay, definitely. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Well, is there any last words of wisdom you want to tell other side hustlers out there, not necessarily even jewelers, but just people that are side hustle is the key word right now. It is a
Side
big
hustle. You
thing.
know what? Just go out there and do it. There's no such thing as failure. You learn and you pick up the pieces and you keep going and try to find the joy in it. It's a process. You got to find the joy in the process.
It's all about the joy.
Yeah.
Joy and gay.
Yes.
My two favorite words.
There you go.
Sugar, joy, gay. Okay, dear. Well, enough for today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and have a great
As
market on
well.
Sunday.
I appreciate
I'll
that.
be
Thank
thinking
you.
about you. I hope you have great weather there, and I hope everybody's out and empties their pockets into your treasures. So,
Good
well,
vibes. I appreciate it.
Okay, well, let's talk again soon and keep me posted.
I will. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank
Bye
you, dear.
bye.
Bye bye.